studied the complex permanent tissue in plants. So let's move further to understand the conducting tissues. Now we know that the simple permanent tissues are the parenchyma, chlorenchyma, erenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma and surface tissue. And we have seen all of these tissues in detail. Now we are going to understand the complex permanent tissue, that is xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are considered as the conducting tissues in plants. We completed simple permanent tissue. Let's start with the complex permanent tissues. Complex tissues in plants, they are made up of more than one type of cell. The cells, they are always working together, that is they are in coordination with each other. The complex tissue which is present in plant is vascular tissue or conducting tissue. This tissue is generally present in the root, stem and leaf cells of the plants. So let us understand the vascular tissue in plants in detail. Vascular or conducting tissue is a distinct, or it's a special feature of complex plants, that is the well developed plants. These plants, they have vascular tissues as xylem and phloem. The xylem helps in conducting water, whereas phloem, it helps in conducting food. Xylem and phloem together, they make up the vascular bundle inside the plant. Now the xylem, the cells are very thick walled and many of them are generally dead. They are of the following types. Tracheids are long narrow cells which does not allow the water to pass, that is the walls are impermeable to water. Now when these tracheids mature, they die and their cytoplasm disintegrates, it breaks down. So what happens is, because of the cytoplasm breaking down, it leaves a network of hollow connected tubes or cells through which the water can later on easily pass when the cytoplasm breaks down. Next is xylem vessels. These are tubular structures and they are much wider than the tracheids. Now in vessels, these tubes, they are arranged end to end on top of one another like a pipeline. So this is how the xylem vessels, they are arranged. Due to this, the cell wall at both the end degenerate when the cells, they die, because of which the stacked vessels, as they are on top of each other like a pipeline, so what happens is, when the cell wall breaks, the stacked vessels, they'll become continuous tubes, and once they become continuous tubes, it allows the free flow of water and minerals in vertical direction, that is in upwards direction, as you can see in the picture. After xylem tracheids and xylem vessels, here we are going to understand the xylem parenchyma. We know the main function of parenchyma is to provide support and store food. So in xylem also it stores food. In this way, these are the cells. First is tracheid, next is vessel, and the third picture is of xylem parenchyma. Lastly, we are going to see the xylem fibers. The xylem fibers, just like the name suggests, fibers, they provide mechanical support to the plant, so they are very necessary for providing support to the plant. So we have studied xylem tracheid, xylem vessel, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. Firstly, we studied the conducting tissue xylem, which helps in transporting water. Now we are going to understand phloem. Just like xylem transports water, phloem transports food, and this food is transferred in the form of sugar and amino acids from leaves to other parts of the plant such as stem and roots. The food is prepared in the leaf, but it is also given to other non-green parts of the plants with the help of phloem. Just as xylem was of four types, that is xylem tracheid, xylem vessel, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber, we are going to study the four types of phloem cells also. The first one is the sieve tubes. As the name suggests, sieve means something which is porous, okay, the channi or the chalni you can say. So these sieve tubes, they are tubular cells with perforated walls and they are arranged end to end. The end walls of these tubes, they have very perforations in them, okay, so we say the end walls are perforated, that is they have small holes. The materials can move through these small pores or small holes or through these perforated walls from one adjacent cell to another in the sieve tube element. Next is the companion cells. Now these are the cells which surround the sieve tube elements. Just like we have friends, we have companions who always help us in our task. Same way the companion cells, they help the sieve tube to complete its task. The companion cells, they are living and they keep their nuclei and other organelles throughout their lifetime, because the sieve tube does not has nucleus. So companion cells, they have nuclei which help in guiding or controlling the activity of sieve tube elements. So companion cells are believed to control the activity and help the sieve tube elements to perform its task. Next is phloem fibers. We studied about xylem fibers, that is they provide support. Same way phloem fibers, they are elongated tapering cells, that is their end is very tapering. They are particularly found in the stem. As you can see in the picture, the structure, it is broader at the center and tapering towards the end. We studied in cell the structure of smooth muscle cell, it is broader at the center, tapering at the end. The cell walls of the phloem fibers, they are very thick. It gives mechanical strength to the plant. The fibers are generally dead cell. They are known only to provide strength. Next is phloem parenchyma. These cells, they are alive and they are filled with cytoplasm. The cell walls, they are generally very thin. These cells, they form the basic packing tissue between all the other type of cells. The phloem parenchyma, they store food in the form of compounds such as starch.